So the prerequisite for this course is like you should know the basic commands of Linux, okay, and you should know the basics of SQL language. Okay, SQL is structured query language, guys. Okay, we use this language to interact with the database. Okay, and Linux, this is the Linux box, guys. Okay, this is the Linux box. See, Linux, right? This is our host. Any question, guys? Anyone who's new to this Linux and SQL?
Yes, Chris. Yeah, I have no prior knowledge of Oracle or Linux or SQL. So are we gonna learn that from us that or learning of ourselves?
Actually, Krish, I'm gonna help you with that. Okay, I have let me show you. See, here I have this document which for VBA. Okay, if you just go through these commands, okay, you are good to start. Okay, no problem. Basically, whatever the commands I'm gonna use on my training, it's gonna be very basic. Okay, and it's not like even if you have even if you haven't got the knowledge of this thing, you cannot do it. It's not like that. Okay, so I'm going to help you with that. Okay, Linux and SQL. Okay. Of course, you can spend some extra time when you're free for learning this Linux and SQL. Okay. And guys, I also encourage my students to configure the same configuration in their computer as well. Okay, you could install VMware Workstation. In that you can install Oracle Linux 6.5 operating system. Okay, and in the 6.5 version of this OEL we can install Oracle database. Okay, so I have all the steps, guys. Okay, do not worry, I'm gonna help you how to download the software and how to do the installation. Okay. First, I'm going to discuss what are the roles and responsibilities of a DBA. Okay, when you're working in real time, what are the roles and responsibilities of database administrator? Okay, and then I'm going to start with the Oracle architecture, guys. Okay, this training is basically for 11G R2, guys. Okay, doesn't mean that I won't be discussing 12C. Wherever I find that there's a new feature in 12C, there's an advanced feature of this of this option in 12C, I'm going to discuss that. Okay, you cannot learn, guys 12C without learning this 11G R2. Okay, that is why it's wherever you go, the training will be based on 11G R2. Architecture. You cannot expect to learn Oracle database without going through the guys. This is the basic thing. This is the first thing. Okay, and the architecture basically discusses on the internal things of Oracle. Okay, when a user is executing query, whenever a user is interacting with the database, what are the things, what are the events happening in the background, how the things are done basically in the background. Those things gonna be discussed in architecture part. Okay, Oracle architecture. What are the different type of components we have in Oracle? What is the memory structure? What is the background processes? What is Oracle database files? Those things gonna be discussed under this architecture part. Then Oracle installation and database creation, guys. Here I'm gonna show you how to install this Enterprise Linux, the operating system. Okay, and then I will install database, AVNG R2 database on the operating system. Okay. This training is strictly based on, guys, Linux. Okay, not Windows. Because Windows installation is very easy. You just have to click next, and just go with it. Okay, so the reason I'm using Linux for this training is wherever you work as a GPA, guys, 90% of the time you're gonna find Linux operating system. Okay, those clients who are not using Linux operating system, slowly they are also migrating their servers into Linux, because regulatory for your information, Linux is the most stable operating system that we have in Linux servers. How to delete a database, how to configure a database, then how to install client software. Everything is going to be discussed in this installation part. Then we have table space management. How do we manage table space in the database? What are the data files? What are the different type of physical files we have in database? Okay. What is temporary table space? Big file table spaces? Okay. What do we mean by OMF? Oracle managed files. Okay. How do we alter the table spaces? Then next module is storage structure. Storage structure, we're going to discuss about the different types of storage that we have in Oracle database. Okay. How do we control files, review log files? Okay. How do we manage empty data? Then the next module is about user management. Okay. User management basically discusses about how to create a user, how do we manage a database user, how do we grant, how do we allocate quota to the user, how do we manage the resources, profiling, okay. How do we grant roles and privileges to a user, how do we revoke the roles and privileges from a user, okay. So basically everything from user perspective is going to be discussed in the user management. Yes. And since everything, whatever I take to you, okay, I'm gonna give you the particular session now. This is the Linux server. Okay, I have two databases, guys, on this server. Okay, one is 11G, isn't it, and one is 12G. Okay, so I'm also gonna show you the installation. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna show you just 11G. I'm gonna show you 12G installation as well. How do we install and configure a 12G database? Okay. The networking part, guys. Networking, I'm going to discuss. Basically, there are 2 or 3 files related to networking. So, how do we manage those files? Okay, but a user from a remote location is trying to connect with the database. Okay, how the connection works, how the networking works. Okay, those things are going to be discussed in this networking part. Any question, guys? In this? Wish, this wish. Any question on this?
Nothing. We're working on.
You can hear me,
so
right?
far.
Properly?
Yes.
Then we have export and import. Guys, let me tell you, basically, to take logical backup. When I say logical, I mean logical objects. Okay. In database, we have 2 types of objects. One is logical and the other is physical. Physical are those objects, which you can see from the operating system. Logical objects you cannot see in the operating system. That's logical thing. Okay. So performing logical backups, we use exports and imports. Exports and imports are the older version. The current version is data pumps. Okay. So if you want to take backup of a table is the logical thing, right? You cannot see a table. Of course, you can see the data inside the table, but you cannot see a table. So table is a logical thing. Schema is also a logical thing. Database is also a logical thing. You can see the data, but they are inside the database, but you cannot see a database, right? So if you want to take backup of table schema database, we use EXPDP and IMPDP. Okay. Taking the backup, taking the backup of a table, restoring it to other server or in the same database but under different user. How to do that? Those things gonna be shown to you in this part. Okay. Full practical. Full lab session. Then backup and recovery. I'm going to discuss what are the backup and recovery strategy we use in real time. How many different type of failures can occur in real time when we're working as a DBA, right? How do we, if any logical corruption is there in the database, how do we rectify that? Okay, and I have, guys, around 12 case cases prepared here, where I have simulated some situations which can happen in real time when you're working as a DBA. Okay, when your database is working in no archive block data mode, then how to recover your database if your database got failed. Like that, I have simulated 12 situations and I have overcome those situations. Everything is documented here, guys. You just have to go with the flow. Okay, I'm gonna discuss 5 to 6 real-time scenarios in the package. Okay. In real time, we could, we'll face these issues. So how to overcome that? How to recover from loss of a read-only table space. If you have a table space, status is read-only, if that table space got lost, how do we recover the database? That has been discussed. Okay. And guys, I also would be sharing, after each and every session, the Q&A document, okay, question and answer, which is going to help you for cracking some interviews. Okay, question and answer. See here, for example, this is for Ahmed. Okay, you can go through the documents. It's going to really help you for preparing yourself for the interviews. Arman, recovery manager, guys. Okay, we have a tool provided by Oracle called Arman, recovery manager. We deal with backups and recovery using this tool, Arman. Okay, guys. User managed backup and recovery. What is called user managed backup? Okay. What is full backup? Hot backup? Incomplete recovery. Recovery scenario. Recovery scenarios are discussed, right? In case cases. Transportable table spaces. What is transportable table spaces? How do we migrate a database from one server to another server? Okay. ASM basics only. ASM basically, in today's world, clients, they all are shifting their storage from operating system to the ASM, right? Okay, all the clients are, shifting their storage to ASM because in ASM, the file management part, its dependency is less. You don't manage files. ASM is going to automatically manage the files. Okay, how? Using which features? I'm going to discuss that in the class. Okay. This is a very, it's very advanced. This is an advanced feature and very much useful. Database upgradation and patching. I'm going to show you how to upgrade 11G database to 12G. Okay. I'm also going to share the steps how to do that. So maybe you could refer the document to upgrade any database from 11G. Then performance tuning. Basically, performance tuning discusses what are the steps has to be taken, by a DBA when there's performance issue in the database. It's application user is coming back to DBA and is saying that one SQL statement which used to take 30 seconds to execute is currently taking more than 30 minutes. Okay, so a DBA will have to tune the database. The DBA will have to tune the SQL query, okay, so that SQL query can take less number of time to execute. Okay, so those things are going to be discussed into this performance tuning. This is, in short, this is called guys PT. Okay, this is an advanced feature of Oracle. If you have good knowledge on PT, let me tell you, no one can stop you to get a job. This video is very much important, guys. And in today's world, I have seen that clients, they always ask for this. They always look for this feature. In the candidate, they always want DBAs to know about this. 11G to 11G R2 rack. This is only. Rack is in advanced course, guys. Okay, so I have a rack set up in my computer. Okay, so I'm going to discuss that architecture. I'm going to give you the overall knowledge. Yes, so this how to put AWR. Of course, I'm going to discuss that in performance tuning. Okay, from the database. Of course, see, code is an tool. Okay, if you're executing something from code, that means you're executing something from the database only. Okay, so I'm going to show you from the database how to do that. how to read AWR report. I have it actually there. Okay, so AWR report, reading AWR report is also a talent, guys. Okay, if you know how to read AWR report, you can tune any database. Okay, if you know how to read this report, how to perfectly read this report, and which are the parameters you have to look for in this report, you can tune a database. Oracle database. Okay. Then at the end, I'm going to discuss some real-time project discussion. What is ITIL framework? What are the different type of monitoring tools we use in real time? Okay. What is incident management, change management, problem management? Okay. How to work in real time following the process. If you're working for an MNC client, okay. So basically, all the clients will have a process in place. If you want to do something, you have to go with the process. Okay. So I'm going to discuss some process, how it works in real time. Okay. Then I'm going to show you how to use cookie, super cookie, SQL developer, Chode, WinSAP, and Xminty. Okay. So when you're working as a DBA, once in a while you'll be using some tools, guys. Okay. And these are the most common tools. I'm gonna show it to you how to do this. So that's about this code DBA code, guys. If you have any questions, you can start asking me. Let's start with Krish. Please, do you have any questions? Anything that, and this is the one thing from which you can get the knowledge, get the parameter values, okay, get the information, get the statistics of the database. Okay, it doesn't matter which tool you use, it's always gonna be this AWR report.
I think I'm asking about the real-time monitoring. Real-time monitoring tool. Now, this AWR report, we can put in a batch mode, right? So, I'm asking like, is there any real-time monitoring?
Are you talking about the database parameter, or you're talking from performance tuning point of view?
From performance tuning point of view.
See, we could also use enterprise manager. Okay.
Okay, that's what I'm
manager,
asking.
we have Oracle now.
Enterprise manager.
And, and basically there are hell lots of tools actually. I have seen many third-party tools, but basically, overall the idea is same. Whatever you see in enterprise manager, they show the same thing, but different view. Okay. So let's not get into those third-party tools. Okay. See, if you want to know, you could use any third-party tools. Okay. There are hell lots of websites where you can upload this AJAY report, and that website is going to let you know which are the things you have to look for in the database. Okay. So let's not get into the third-party tools. We're going to concentrate on whatever the Oracle has provided, tools which Oracle has provided. We're going to be concentrating on that. Anything from your end, Rajesh?
No, nothing. I think it's fine.
Suresh, from your end? Anything else?
No, not right now, because it looks like the other participants are quite advanced. I'm not, so right now I'll ask the question in private.
Ramesh, can I ask you one question? Can I ask you one question? Having no knowledge on the Unix,
Yes,
you can guide me in the Unix. Having the idea on the SQL.
Sure. I'm gonna get. So yes. So basically, guys, if you are going with this training, let me tell you, you could download this VMware workstation. Okay, I can share with you the link how to download that. Okay, and you should at least have 4 GB of RAM in your computer. If you have 4, you are good to go. Okay, you could install this Oracle Enterprise Linux. Okay, 6.5 version, and you could start practicing. I'm going to share you the slide. Okay, I'm going to help you with Linux. If you don't know the basic Linux commands, I'm going to take one session for that. No problem. Okay.
Thank you.
Should is any more query? Any more questions from your end?
I'm good,
Is
thank
there
you.
anything else which you are looking for in this training? Okay, no problem. So let me just give you, Krish, anything, you told me that you had some questions, you could ask me if you want to know. No problem.
Yeah, what I meant is that I can see that other participants are way ahead of me. So, as I said yesterday, and I'm saying today, I'll be starting from scratch. I have no ground knowledge. I have no ground knowledge of Oracle itself. So, I'll have to start from scratch. That will slow other people down.
Yeah. So see, no. It's not like you have to start it from the scratch. See, of course, you wanna start from scratch. This training doesn't mean that you should be an experienced one in Linux or the SQL one. Okay, because you require basic knowledge, and I'm gonna give you that. Please do not worry about that. Okay, I'm here to take care of you. Okay, and whatever I discuss in the classes, if you don't understand anything, please ask me. Okay, please straightforward ask me if you don't understand anything. I have got different type of methods to explain you the things. Okay, and the more important thing is like I have a database here. Everything whatever I told you in theory, I can show you in practical. Okay, so if we go with the practical, then you can understand me. Okay, the theory, if I take the practical session as well, then it's confirmed that you understand 100%.
Yeah, I have
And
a,
if
I have
you
a
need
question.
any, and Krish, if you have, if you really think that if you're really worried about your basics, then I could take some backup sessions for you. Okay, in order to help you in understanding the basics. Okay, one class is enough for the basic. Krish, for Linux and the SQL part.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So do not worry.
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I would like to know, are there any type of materials you're going to give us, or you want us to go for the materials ourselves?
No. I'm gonna give you lots of material. Do not worry about the materials. Okay, I have Oracle documents. Okay, Oracle documentations. I have my own documents which I have prepared. Okay, I'm gonna share all the documents. Do not worry about the documents. I have a lot of documents. Okay.
What of videos? Are there any videos?
First, videos, yes, I don't have any videos, but yes, I have some links. Okay, I'm gonna share you some YouTube links which you could follow. Okay.
Okay.
So, but first I'm going to share you the basic, the Oracle slides. I'm going to share it with you. Okay. If you think, means you have made a better understand of those commands, then I can share you the advanced PDFs, advanced textbooks. I will share you. And after each and every sessions, the classes is gonna share the recording of the video. Okay, those videos is gonna be shared with you guys after each and every classes, so that you can review, go through the videos again, the sessions videos. Okay, and if you have any doubts, you could always get back to me.
Okay.
Any more question, guys?
Right now.
let me, guys, let me give you a basic knowledge. In learning Oracle database, the important thing is the architecture part. Okay, and this is how the architecture looks. 11G R2 architecture. This is how it looks. Okay. Are you able to see this diagram, guys? Okay. So basically, this is the architecture of Oracle database 11G. Okay. Basically, when I say Oracle server basically means Oracle instance and the Oracle database. Okay. Oracle instance and Oracle database. Always remember this. Okay. Now, let me give you a common example. Suppose we have we have got a place, okay, and we have got a home. Okay, there's one home in a very vacant place. Okay, there's only one home, guys. Okay, and there's only one path which is gonna lead us inside that home. Okay, there's the home and a path which is gonna lead us inside that home. Okay, so just think that home as a database. If you go inside that home, you can access everything, right? Whatever the things are there in the home, you can access that. Just think that that home is like a database, and that path, okay, which we have to follow, that's an instance. Okay, and let me tell you, there's only one path that leads us inside that home. Okay, so that path is like an instance. So if you want to access the database, you will have to connect yourself to the instance, and you have to follow the path. You have to just go to the path, and then only you can get inside that home. Okay, the same method is for this Oracle database. Oracle, if you want to access the data that are stored in database, you have to first connect to the instance. Okay, what is an Oracle database, guys? Oracle database is an RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. Okay, we use database. Okay, we store informations. Okay, we manage the database, and when needed, we retrieve the data. Isn't it? Please, do you understand this? What is Oracle database? So, Chris, you must be having a bank account, right? In your bank.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, when you log in online to the portal, you see your balance, right? Where
Yes.
from where that data is that's coming from the database, right? That bank has got a database where the informations are stored, isn't it? Okay, so if I'm a DB for that bank, okay, if I delete your information the next day when you log in online, you won't be able to see anything, isn't it?
Right.
So that's the importance of database. That's the importance of a DB. Okay, a DB in the background could really mesh up with the data. Okay, but that's not. I'm just saying, means about the importance of a DB. It's not like DB is mesh up with the data. Not saying that. Okay. So, who's sending? Any questions?
No.
Rajesh, Vish?
Then it's okay.
Guys, just wait for 1 minute. Okay, let me get the charger. My laptop is running out of battery. One second. Okay, so that's the importance of a database. Okay. So when I say database, I mean the physical file, guys. Okay, physical file means what? The files which reside on the operating system, the Linux operating system. Okay, and Oracle database, when I say Oracle database, it basically means three files. Always remember. It means three files. Data files, control files, and video log files. See here, data files, control files, and video log files. What is a data file? Data files are those files which contains the data of the database. Whatever you do, whatever changes you do in the database, the data are stored in data files. Okay? So basically data files, the extension is .dbf. Always remember, database files. Okay? The extension is dbf. Then we have control files. What is control file? Control file basically contains the data about the data. When it contains the metadata information. Which data is present where? Which data file is present where? Those informations are present in control file. It contains control information. How do we control the database? Okay, through data file, isn't it? So those control information are present in control files. Okay, so basically in one word, in one sentence, I can say control file contains the metadata about the database. Okay. And next is video log file. Oracle has got a tendency that whatever transactions are happening in the database, before Oracle will execute those transactions, it first keeps the record of those changes. Okay, video log files. It keeps the record changes in video log files. See, we use SQL statement, isn't it? Delete, update, insert, right? So those statements, if users are executing before Oracle will execute that statement against the database, it first saves the logs, isn't it? See, in today's world, in today's IT world, there is nothing hidden, right? Whatever you do, whatever things you do in even your Windows computer or Linux computer or the database, everything gets logged, isn't it? Right, guys? Everything gets written to, right? The logs, same thing. Oracle, maintain logs for all the transactions which are happening in the database. Okay, so this is the file, video log files, where Oracle keeps the record. So Oracle database, these three are the mandatory files. You cannot have a database running without these files. These are the mandatory database files. Apart from this, we have three more files. Okay, the first one is archive log files. This is nothing but just the archive copies of video log files. See, if anything bad happens to the database, of course we need the video log file to restore our database, right? To recover our database, isn't it? So these files are very much important. That's why it's recommended to to make your database run in archive log mode. If your database is running in archive log mode, that means the video log files will be automatically archived, and the files will be called as archive log files. This is not a mandatory file. This is an optional file. Okay, if you have archiving enabled in your database, then you will get these files. If not, then you won't have this file, guys. Okay. Basically, see, this is. Let me just show you how to connect with database. See, no problem if you don't understand these things as of now. Okay. When I start the actual session, I'm gonna let you know what are these things. This is the way we connect to the database via this DB, right? So we use this method. The message I get is connected to an idle instance. That means my database is down. Okay. Now I will have to start up my database. Krish collaboration means we control database. Okay. Whatever task we do in a database, we do it from SQL prompt. Okay, this SQL plus tool. Interact with one sentence, I can say interact with the database using this SQL plus tool. Okay. See, as I told you, for accessing the database instance is very much important, isn't it? So when I gave the startup, the first thing happened was the Oracle instance is started. First, the instance has to be started, guys. Then only database will be mounted, and then the database will be open. That means database is open for the users. Users can read, users can write. See, database got open. Okay. So let's see if this database is running in archive log mode or not. Archive log list. That's it. This is the command. See, it's enabled. Database log mode is archive mode. Automatic archival is enabled. Okay. So it's archiving. So in this database, we will have archive log files. Yes. Then we have something called parameter file. Yes, parameter file is also a mandatory file. Okay. And when we start an instance, basically see we start instance. Here we started the instance. We didn't start the database. Of course, in real time, you're gonna hear that we start the database. But in actual, we are not starting the database yet. What is database? Database is just collection of files. In actual, we are starting the instance. Okay. So when you start an instance, there's a file, which is called parameter file, which is read. Okay. See, when I executed startup command, the parameter file for this database called orc is read, and the parameters will come into effect. See here, memory size, right? It's defined in the parameter file. Reading the parameter file, only this memory component got configured. Okay. I'm gonna go into the details when I take the normal classes, guys. Okay. If you have any question here, please ask me, please. Anyone? Goswami, Rajesh, Suresh, if you have any question, please ask me.
I don't have any question right now because it's not there yet.
Then we have password file. That's an optional file. Okay, and that's used. I've got some users who's gonna connect to the database from remote location. Okay, if the users are geographically located remotely, then this password file will come into picture. Okay, you have to create this password file in the database. Then let's come to the Oracle instance. So that's about the Oracle database, guys. Okay, Oracle database being these three mandatory files and the option file. That's it. Okay. The other component is Oracle instance. Basically, Oracle instance comprises of memory structure and the background processing. When I say Oracle background processor, what is that? I have this Windows machine, right? These are the processors, isn't it? And they are occupying some space. Right? Can anyone let me know where from which memory is the memory or the RAM memory these processes which are in my computer. They are occupying some memory, right? Anyone has any idea from which it's from where it's getting this memory from? Rajesh, please. Any idea?
Yeah.
It's in?
From RAM, I think.
Yes, it's getting the memory from RAM, right? So the same thing. Here also, the memory, see, Oracle background processes are running, we're gonna get the memory from the RAM server. And guys, let me tell you, do not worry if you even don't understand anything right now, because I'm gonna continue this architecture part when I take the regular sessions. Okay, I'm just giving you an overview of that. Okay, how it is. When I start the normal classes, I'm gonna discuss each and everything in more details. Okay, this is just an overview. So the same, which you just saw the Windows processes, right? Same wise, there are lots of processes which runs in Linux operating system. Okay, those are called Oracle background processes. Okay, so there would be operating system related processes as well, but we are not going to concentrate on that. We're going to concentrate on the background processes which is related to the database. Okay, so let me show you how do we see the background processes in Linux. See, this is how we see. PS space -ef grep pmon. Yes, see, pmon process is running for my database. Pmon for Oracle is my database name. Okay, so the naming convention is going to be like this. Ora underscore pmon. Okay, Ora stands for Oracle underscore pmon underscore Oracle. Oracle is my database name. Okay, it's running. Oracle is the user which owns this process, and this is the PID, guys, process ID. Okay, if you want to kill it, we can kill it. For killing a process in Linux, the command is this. Okay, kill -93761. But I won't be killing this. If I kill this, my database will go down. Okay, because this process is the most important process for a database. So basically, we have 5 mandatory background processes. Okay, in Oracle database. It's an interview question, guys. They will always ask you. If you're a fresher, they always gonna ask you how many mandatory background processes we have in database. So you have to name asmon, pmon, database writer, log writer, checkpoint. Okay. See here, asmon, db writer, pmon, ctpt, log writer. Okay. We have got lots of optional background processes like recoverer. Okay, if you're dealing with recovery, then this process will come into picture. If, as I told you, archiving is enabled in your database, then we'll have a background process called archiver. You see over here, archiver. Okay. For this database, archiving is enabled, isn't it? So let's see if archiver process is running on it. See, it's running, isn't it, right? This many number of archival process is running. Archiver 0, archiver 1, archiver 2, archiver 3. So total 4 archiver processes is running in your database. Okay. Any question, guys? So basically, each and every background processes has got its own roles and responsibilities. Basically, system monitor is going to deal with the system monitoring. Okay, database writer, I'm going to discuss that later. Okay, database writer, log writer, I'm going to discuss after I complete this memory structure. Process monitor is going to deal with the processes. If any process has got failed, this background process is going to come into the picture and it's going to do the cleanup task. It's going to clean up the failed processes. Okay. Check pointer I will discuss after this. Okay. Let me discuss this memory structure. This is the most important part in Oracle architecture. Memory structure, right? Because everything which happens in the database, it happens in the memory, right? So memory structure basically, it contains 2 parts, guys. One is SG and the other is PG. SG is called System Global Area or Shared Global Area, guys. Okay. System Global Area is SG is divided into 2 parts: left side, right side. Okay. Right side we have database buffer cache and also ready log buffer cache. As I told you, whatever things happen in the database, Oracle keeps the log of it, right? So Oracle basically keep the logs in the ready log buffer. Okay, see. Guys, can anyone let me know that why do Oracle have this memory structure? Why all the tasks which we do, whichever SQL statement we execute, why does everything happens in the memory and why not in the disks? Why not directly in the disk? Why not directly in the physical file? Why does everything happens in the memory? Anyone has any idea? not about this Oracle database. I'm talking about anything else. Whatever you do, wherever you go, lots of basically pretty much everything in today's world, whatever you do, they happen in memory. They don't happen directly into the files. Any reason, guys? I'm just talking in a normal scenario, normal way.
The question again.
Why the operations in the database is happening in the memory and not directly in the files? What's the reason for that?
There will be a lot of data. That's the reason why they are doing this.
The reason, of course, there's going to be a lot of data, but let me tell you, any operation that's going to be faster. Suppose you have got thousands of database users on this database. If they all connect this at the same time, and if they all want to update the same information, or they want to update some information in the same file, they're gonna go to the database, right? The database will go down. The performance for the database is gonna be very poor, isn't it? That's why, guys, the things they always happen in memory because it's faster. If it happens in memory, then that file can be made permanent into the data file, right? Into the database. So Oracle works like that. All the changes gonna be happening in the memory, and from the memory, the file is gonna be written to the data files. Okay. So basically, database writer does that. Whatever changes you do, if you update any information, that's gonna be done in the database buffer cache. And when you're done with the transaction, that changes is going to be written to the data files. Okay, this is how Oracle works. Okay, and the entries, which I said, the logs, they're going to be first written into read log buffer. And we have got a background process called LGWR, log writer, who's going to write all the information from this read log buffer cache into the read log file. Is it clear, guys? We get data from read log buffer cache and they get written into data files. From read log file, data goes to the read log files. From read log buffer, it goes to the read log files. Any question, guys? Okay, so this is the main. This is the overview of this architecture part, guys. Okay, so I'm going to discuss this in more details. I haven't discussed everything, guys. Here. Okay, so when we take normal classes, we'll discuss that in more details. So, guys, could you know me your convenient time for the session? At what time you are convenient? Krish?
I work during the day, and for me, it will have to be evening. I can't give you the time. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So, is this time perfect from 8 to 9? IST I'm talking about.
I can't tell yet because very soon I'll be taking my son basketball practice.
So, yeah, okay, no problem. Hello, Mark. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm sorry I joined this very late. I was caught up in traffic. So, are you done with the lesson? Are you done with the sports?
Yeah, I'm done with the demonstration. I just show guys how the course can in 10 days. Okay, how I'm gonna proceed with the course. Okay, and Mark, you can get the video from from the big classes. Okay, this session video, please get it from big classes. Okay, if you have any question, you can get back to me.
Okay. I want to ask how this course. I mean, how good is it? Can I be able to get a job after getting lessons from this
Yeah,
course?
yeah. Actually, the thing is, my name is Avinash. Okay, first tell you that. And I have around 6 years of experience in this review field. Okay, so I basically know what are the things they ask for when you're going to an interview as a fresher. What are the things they're gonna ask you? Okay, that's the reason this training is gonna be 100% real time based. Whatever I teach you guys, okay, everything I'm gonna show you in practical. Okay, but you'll have to practice. In the free time, whatever things I discuss in the class, you have to practice that. If you do the practice, let me tell you, no one can stop you to fetch a job.
Yes.
Okay, this is gonna be enough to get you a job. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
So basically, this training will be on 11 GR2. Okay, 11 GR2.
11 what?
11 GR2, release 2.
Okay. Okay.